audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
Exploring all sorts of elements about the books of the Bible that are contained in the New Testament. We've been talking about Gospels, we talked about the book of Acts, we've been talking about epistles and prison epistles. Let's talk about another one of those really important books today, Kameel, and that is the letter to the Galatians.
The letter to the Galatians, which comes right after 2 Corinthians, is rightly called the Magna Carta of the Christian Church. It is our declaration of independence, both from a lifestyle of sin and debauchery, but it's also setting us free from a lifestyle of legalism. It's rather bizarre and paradoxical, Neil, but there are people who live the full earthly, worldly, wild life. Then they get a bit of religion in them, and the pendulum swings to the other side. And all of a sudden, the same wild child becomes the legalistic, holier-than-thou, judgmental person. How they balance the two, I don't know. But that's why I sort of chuckle with that phrase that says that moderation is merely that temporary midpoint as we swing from one extreme to another. Galatians does a death blow to both lifestyles, a lifestyle of license or free, ungodly living, as well as a lifestyle of legalism.
And yet it starts off, Kameel, with some history too of the Apostle Paul and his time that it took in the formation for his capacity to be able to be the apostle that he was to the Gentiles, spending many years in learning about his faith before being released into his ministry role.
Yes, he does talk about coming to faith and then going to Arabia for a time and then returning to Damascus and then going and visiting the apostles in Jerusalem. And what is really interesting is that Paul was the Gentile diaspora apostle, and Peter and John and James were the local Israelite, Jerusalem-based apostles. And yet, when Paul goes for his visit with them, they compare notes, and they have the identical doctrine. Paul's case, he got it by revelation. In the apostles' case, they got it by being with Jesus for 3 years. So the fact that there was this complete harmony and synchronization of doctrine between Paul and the Jerusalem-based apostles is rather remarkable.
And you have this wonderful pendulum change, talking about the darkness to the light. And when we look at Galatians, and we've got the fruit of the Spirit contrasted with the fruit of the flesh. These are wonderful illustrations of the sort of change that you're talking about that you can glean from Galatians.
Yes, in order to live the kind of life that pleases God. And I believe that a born-again, faith-filled, spirit-filled, abundant in love and good works life does please God. So Paul does things like contrast the old covenant with the new. He contrasts Hagar with Sarah, the earthly Jerusalem with the new Jerusalem, life of legalism versus a walk in the Spirit. These comparisons are very important and they're very powerful. I like what he says in verse 16 of Galatians 5, "Walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lusts of the flesh." Neil, if we can live by that alone, we will do a lot of good and be spared a lot of grief.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. For more from Dr. Majdali, including books and DVDs on prophecy, Bible commentaries, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future, go to vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.